Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today is the final video of 2019 and it is my top pens of 2019. Now I want to stress, this isn't the top 5 pens in my collection. I have pens I like more than the ones I'm showing today. It's also not the top 5 pens released this year or anything like that. This is the top 5 pens that I got, that I received, that I got to know. So these are the pens that for 2019 excited me the most. Now, it's been an interesting year for pens. We had copious limited editions and special editions from Lamy and TWSBI and Mont Blanc and just about every brand under the sun, and that's been amazing to sort of watch and follow. But my year of pens has been a little bit more, not so much about collecting everything. I am trying to actually cut down my life in terms of, you know, culling back and not being a hoarder and all of those sorts of things. Not just buying things because they're there. Only really buying what I really want. So a lot of the pens that I would normally get, I just decided not to get this year. And I was able to focus my buying and my interests on specific things. And some of those things are pens that really appeal to me from an aesthetic point of view, or editions of pens that I like that were improvements, such as the all black Lamy Studio, which doesn't have that stainless steel grip. So I had to get one of those, things like that. The pens I'm showing today are pens that I got excited about, and I hope you find this video interesting. We're going to look at them sort of on the other camera angle. I'll do a quick writing sample. I've inked them all with Lamy Black just so we get some sort of unity with that. But yeah, it's been a really great year. My personal collection has grown by some really lovely pens, but I also was really lucky to be able to review a couple of pens that were really exciting for me. Now, my philosophy on pens hasn't changed. It is usability. I'm not a person that's going to go and buy a pen to have it sit on a shelf somewhere or be displayed. I buy pens because they're pens that I want to use and they're pens that I'm excited about using. They have to be affordable, replaceable. So limited editions I find really hard to get my head around, because if I take a pen out of the house, you know, on a trip to another city for work or whatever, and I accidentally leave it on a plane, like I have in the past, luckily it wasn't a special edition, but leaving a pen somewhere would be horrible if that pen couldn't be replaced if it was something that I loved. So pens that can be replaced, most of the time fairly affordable, but also usable and user-friendly and really just good writing pens. A lot of pens came out this year and more pens are using Yovo nibs, and that's great. They are fabulous nibs. I've been wanting to try a few different brands of nibs this year, and I have both bought sort of nib units to replace into other pens that came with Yovo nibs so I could try a couple of different options. I've had sort of custom grinds done. I bought pens and had pens provided for review with grinds that are specific to me, like the right-footed oblique nibs from Mr. Pen, which were amazing. And check out my reviews of like the Parsons Essential and the Captain's Commission for nibs like that. But there's a real sort of push towards using these Yovo nibs, and that's really lovely. They're great nibs, but I'm excited about trying others, and that's something I'm also going to try and do in 2020. But enough talking, let's look at some pens. These are my personal top 5 pens of 2019. Hope you enjoy this video. Okay, here we are. Now, what would a top 5 list be without 6 pens? So I'm going to give you one honourable mention, and this is a budget pen, and this is a budget pen that came out this year that I think has changed a lot for the game. That was the Wingsung 3013. Why is this pen so impressive? Well, it comes with a couple of different nib options. It's super affordable, under $10 Australian, but what makes this pen really exciting is the fact that it is a vacuum filler. So you get a huge ink capacity with a really good filling system, and you know what? It's actually a really good writer. So coming in as my honourable mention is the Wingsung 3013. It comes in a range of different colours, as I said, a few different nib options. Just a really solid pen, a really solid writer. And I've been using this one and another one, actually use an extra fine for sketching because it's not super wet, which is good on some of that paper. But it's, It's a nice size. It's very clearly modelled off the TWSBI VAC 700, but it's slightly smaller, but has a slightly longer grip section, which is actually a really nice addition because it's actually a lot more comfortable for me in the hand. So this is Clairefontaine paper, so please don't tell me that these pens deserve better paper, because it's 90 gram Clairefontaine paper. So this is my honourable mention, highly commended, and it's the Wingsung 3013. Now I have this with the medium nib. It's just a plain steel nib, but what do you expect on a pen that costs $8? And the ink, as with all of these, is Lamy Black. So smooth pen, a little bit of feedback, but that's all right. Nice and wet. The extra fine is actually a lot drier, which is why I use that for sketching. But this is a really nice pen, and it writes beautifully, and it fits nicely in the hand. And for an honourable mention, at under $10, you can't really go wrong. Now, let's talk number 5. This was a pen that I bought to review. Didn't expect to love it so much, and really, really loved it. It is the Visconti Mirage. Now, this is the coral finish. What do I love about this pen? Well, the magnetic closure is great. The clip, always with these Visconti pens, is good. I love the fluting here. I don't know how well that will come up in the video, but this fluting on the pen, it always lines up because you've got these little grooves in the capping, so that it will always line up. It's a not super expensive Visconti. It's not their cheapest option. The Breeze is slightly more affordable, but this is a nice one. And I have this with a broad nib. So the nibs are very small, but they write very, very well. So at number 5 is the Visconti Mirage with a broad steel nib, Lamy Black. Just a really, really generous, beautiful writer. Stiff nibs. These are, like, I don't do flex nibs, but these are rigid. But it's just a really, really nice writer, and I actually really like the finish. I like the colours that sort of swirl through the material. I like the shape of it. I like the weight of the pen and the size. This was a real winner from Visconti. I think it came out last year, but I got one this year, and I'm absolutely over the moon with it. Next was one of the more expensive pen purchases that I had this year. It's the Aurora Talentum, and this is the Black Ops. So it's a black matte satin sort of finish with black furniture as well, blacked out furniture. It has a blacked out gold nib. This is in medium. Most of my pens are mediums. It's a really lovely pen. What I like about this pen is there's a bit of feedback on it. It's nice and wet. You put a wet ink in this and it just is a gusher, which is really, really great. I quite like that. It's not the perfect pen. There's like a few spots where the plating's coming off the furniture, or the finish is sort of getting a little bit sort of, see if I can find it, there we go, a little bit sort of scratched up. But just the feeling of this pen in the hand, once again, the weight of it, the size of it, it's just a really beautiful pen to write with. So number 4 is the Aurora Talentum. This is a medium. You can hear the slight feedback, but it's not unpleasant at all. But yeah, nice and wet, nice and smooth. Really lovely pen, and that design I think is just absolutely stunning. I do love flat tops. I love all black. It's really close to the perfect pen design for me. Really, really lovely. So the Aurora Talentum at number 4. The next 2 pens are pens I was sent to review, and I was so over the moon to love them both so much. I'll link reviews down below for a lot of these pens. But the number 3 is from Fine Writing International. This is the brass pen, and this is the 3rd generation. I love this pen. I love the shape of the pen. It's a heavy pen. The cap weighs as much as the rest of the pen. I use this pen so much. You can see the patina there is just like looking gorgeous, because it's brass, it does patina. Even since filling this for this video, I've used this pen copious amounts every day. But what I love about this pen is the balance of the pen in the hand when it is uncapped is almost perfect. It's just a plain steel Jowo nib here with a medium. It is branded with their logo, which is nice. It can be filled as an eyedropper, cartridge, or converter. So it's a really, really, really nice pen. And if you aren't familiar, try and get your hands on and just feel that weight in your hand. It is just like I don't think there are many pens that actually feel better than this in the hand. So number 3 is the Fine Writing, I'll just abbreviate, Fine Writing International Brass. And this is the 3rd generation. This is a medium. But like, listen to that, this is that Yovo nib. It's just beautiful. It just glides across the page and puts down such a lovely sort of generous line. Not super wet, but gosh, you know, like for just a Yovo nib on a indestructible acrylic and brass pen, it's such a winner, and I love writing with this pen. I can write with this pen for days and not have a single worry in the world. Fine Writing International 3rd generation brass, that beautiful sort of sort of detailing on the cap and on the end cap there, just really lovely. Please watch the review of this one, it's just wonderful. Another pen that really surprised me, and one that I absolutely adore, is the Laban Sun. Once again, just a Yovo, and I've got a medium nib in it, but this orange acrylic is beautiful, that sort of marbly, speckly sort of material, and this sort of fake ivory acrylic is just absolutely stunning. The gold furniture looks great on this pen. I normally prefer like a chrome furniture, but this looks great, and with the gold nib, and the gold coloured nib, it looks amazing. So these are really affordable, and they're not sort of like, they are limited edition, but they've come out with a number of different sort of colours. There's the forest, which was green, and the ocean, which was blue. But I here have the sun, and I just adore it. So number 2 is the Laban Sun, and this is a medium, and Lamy Black again. Beautiful smooth nib. The weight of this pen in the hand is absolutely divine. The shape of that section and the feel of that section is really nice. There's no sort of harsh step downs or anything like that. It's a good size pen. It's not a plain black pen, and for me that was quite a surprise to actually really, really love a plain black pen. And for this to come in at number 2 says a lot about this pen. I played with a lot of really lovely pens this year, so you know, the Laban Sun at number 2, just a beautiful pen, and from a manufacturer that make really good, high quality pens that don't receive as much attention as they should. So please check out the review of this pen that I did. I'll link it below. Check out Laban, try one out. They're just really great. Number 1, this was a pen that I bought more or less on a whim, thinking on paper that I would love it, and I really did. The review of this is coming out next year, so this hasn't been reviewed yet. It is the Parker Duofold Centennial. So black with chrome trim, flat top, flat bottom, just 18 karat gold nib. What more can you ask for? It's not a huge pen, but it feels really nice in the hand. I wouldn't post it. It posts, but like not great. So I don't post a lot of my pens, to be honest. But that section is a nice shape. It tapers nicely, flares nicely at the end there. I'll do a full review, of course, but number 1, I couldn't put any other pen at number 1. This one just really ticks just about every box. So at number 1 is the Parker Duofold with a medium nib. This is probably the least wet of all the pens that I'm showing here, but there's a lovely smoothness to the nib, a nice sort of hint of feedback so you know you're writing on the page. Just a really beautiful writing experience, and a really classy, beautiful looking pen. So as I said, I'm going to do a review of this pen next year. It'll come out sort of in probably the first third of the year. But yeah, check out these pens. Like, Parker need no introduction. They are one of the leading pen brands and best known pen brands in the world. But this one really changed things for me. And
Well, if I'm honest, I'm going to be getting a couple more. I really like them. This is the Parker Duofold. Let's just run through that list again. So, the highly commended, the Wingsung 3013, super budget-friendly pen, really nice writer. And a vacuum filler at, realistically, like an eighth the price of the next best vacuum filler. The Visconti Mirage, here with a broad nib, really nice pen. So a couple of details I'm not really particularly fussed about, like that cap band, but writes beautifully, feels great in the hand, and love that material. Number 4 is the Aurora Talentum, another medium nib, blacked out, gorgeous. That finish is stunning. It feels great in the hand. Just a really lovely pen. The Fine Writing International Brass 3rd generation at number 3 with a medium nib. Really great pen. Balance in the hand is perfect. Awesome writing experience. Please check out those pens. Number 2, the Laban Sun. Just absolutely gorgeous. Like, the aesthetic of this pen is just stunning. The writing experience is beautiful. The feel in the hand is remarkable. Laban Sun at number 2. And then number 1, as we've just said, the Parker Duofold Centennial with a nice 18 karat gold medium nib. And just about another one of those pens that is just about the perfect aesthetic for me. So that was my personal top 5 pens of 2019.
Thank you so much for watching and for supporting this channel throughout 2019. I hope you have found my videos interesting and useful, and I've really enjoyed getting in touch with a number of you and feeling much more involved in the pen community year by year. So have a happy and safe new year, and enjoy your pens, enjoy your writing, and I'll talk to you later.